Welcome back to Sports Day Tribune. I'm Noah, and today we're diving into a performance that will be etched in WNBA history for years to come. Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's rookie sensation, just put on a show that left fans, analysts, and even her opponents in awe. Despite the Fever's heartbreaking 101-93 loss to the Dallas Wings, Clark's individual brilliance was nothing short of spectacular. Let's break down this historic night, shall we? Caitlin Clark exploded for a double-double that redefined what we expect from a rookie in this league. The former Iowa superstar finished the night with 24 points, but it's her assist tally that's sending shockwaves through the basketball world. Clark dished out an astounding 19 assists, setting a new WNBA record for most assists in a single game. Let that sink in for a moment. A rookie, in her first year in the pros, just outpassed every player in WNBA history, but Clark wasn't content with just rewriting the assist records. She flirted with a triple-double, falling just short with 6 rebounds. Now, some might look at her 6 turnovers and -8 and try to nitpick, but let's be real. When you're handling the ball as much as Clark did and creating at such a high level, some turnovers are inevitable. What's truly remarkable is that Clark didn't sit for a single second of this game. That's right, she played all 40 minutes. In an era where load management is a hot topic and players often rest for stretches of the game, Clark's stamina and commitment to being on the floor for every moment is a throwback to a different era of basketball. Let's talk about her shooting for a moment. Clark went 10 of 19 from the field, good for a 52.6% shooting percentage. From beyond the arc, she was 2 of 9, which translates to 22.2%. While her three-point shooting wasn't at its best, her overall efficiency from the field was impressive, especially considering the volume of shots and the defensive attention she was drawing. Now, let's break down Clark's performance quarter by quarter, because this wasn't just a case of getting hot for one period. This was sustained excellence throughout the game. In the first quarter, Clark came out of the gates strong with 4 points and 4 assists, along with a rebound. She was 2 of 5 from the field, but couldn't connect on any of her 3 attempts from downtown. But as we've come to expect from Clark, she was just warming up. The second quarter is where Clark really caught fire. She exploded for 10 points on 4 of 7 shooting, including knocking down one of her 2 three-point attempts. She maintained her playmaking brilliance with another 4 assists and added 2 rebounds to her tally. This was Caitlin Clark, in full flight, scoring and creating with equal measure. In the third quarter, Clark continued to impact the game in multiple ways. She added 6 more points to her total, went 2 of 4 from the field, including 1 of 3 from three-point range. But it was her playmaking that really shone through in this period, as she dished out 5 assists. Add another rebound to her stats, and you can see how Clark was stuffing the stat sheet in every way possible. The final quarter saw Clark focus more on setting up her teammates. She scored 4 points on an efficient 2 of 3 shooting, but it was her 6 assists in this quarter that really stand out. 2 more rebounds rounded out her near triple-double performance. But here's where it gets really interesting. This wasn't just a great game, this was a history-making performance that set multiple milestones. Let's break them down. First, Clark became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 400 points and 200 assists, doing so in just 26 games. To put that in perspective, the previous record holder was Sue Bird, one of the greatest point guards in basketball history, who took 33 games to reach the same milestone. Clark didn't just break this record, she shattered it. But wait, there's more. Clark became the first player in WNBA history to record a stat line of 20-plus points, 15-plus assists, and 5-plus rebounds in a single game. Think about that for a second. In a league that's been around since 1997, featuring some of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, no one had ever put up a stat line like this. Until Caitlin Clark. And if you think Clark is just having a good game here or there, think again. She's averaging 12.5 assists per game in July, which is the highest average for a single month in WNBA history. This isn't just a hot streak. This is sustained excellence at a level we've rarely seen from any player, let alone a rookie. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Noah, this all sounds great, but her team lost the game. And you're right, the Fever did fall to the Wings 101-93. But I'd argue that this loss, as disappointing as it may be for Clark and her teammates, doesn't diminish the significance of her performance. In fact, it might even highlight just how spectacular she was. Think about it. Clark's team lost by 8 points despite her historic performance. This raises some interesting questions about the Fever's supporting cast and how the team is built around their rookie superstar. It's reminiscent of some of the great individual performances we've seen in basketball history, where a player puts up incredible numbers in a losing effort. But let's zoom out for a moment and consider what this means for the WNBA as a whole. Caitlin Clark isn't just putting up numbers. She's redefining what's possible for a rookie in this league. She's bringing a level of excitement and attention to the game that we haven't seen in years. The comparisons to NBA stars are already flowing in. Some are calling her the female Steph Curry due to her long-range shooting ability and playmaking skills. Others are drawing parallels to players like Steve Nash or Jason Kidd, point guards who could control the game with their passing while still being a scoring threat. But here's the thing. Caitlin Clark isn't the female version of anyone. She's Caitlin Clark, a unique talent who's carving out her own legacy in the WNBA. Yes, we can draw comparisons to other great players, but what we're witnessing is something wholly original. This performance, and Clark's season as a whole, is also reigniting the Rookie of the Year debate. While players like Angel Reese have also had strong rookie campaigns, Clark's historic night and her consistent excellence throughout the season are making a strong case for her to take home the award. But beyond individual accolades, what Clark is doing is growing the game. She's attracting new fans to the WNBA, inspiring young players, and changing perceptions about what women's basketball can be. Her game is exciting, her passion is infectious, and her skill level is undeniable. As we look ahead to the rest of the season, it's hard not to get excited about what Clark might do next. Will she break her own assist record? Could she average a triple-double for a month? Will she lead the Fever to a playoff berth? These are the questions that will keep fans tuning in night after night. But regardless of what happens next, let's take a moment to appreciate what we witnessed. Caitlin Clark didn't just have a great game, she had a historic one. She didn't just break records, she set new standards for what's possible in the WNBA. As the season progresses, all eyes will be on Clark and the Fever. Can they translate her individual brilliance into more team success? How will opponents adjust to try and slow her down? And perhaps most intriguingly, how much better can Caitlin Clark get? One thing's for certain, the WNBA is in the midst of a Caitlin Clark era, and if this performance is any indication, we're in for a thrilling ride. This is more than just great basketball. It's a cultural moment that could have ripple effects for years to come. So keep watching, keep supporting, and most importantly, keep celebrating the incredible talent and dedication of athletes like Caitlin Clark. Because performances like this don't come around often, and when they do, they remind us why we fell in love with sports in the first place. This has been Noah with Sports Day Tribune, bringing you the latest on Caitlin Clark's record-breaking night in the WNBA. Stay tuned for more updates as this thrilling season continues to unfold. Until next time, keep your eyes on the court and your passion for the game alive.